Hello again, everybody. This is Robert Brighton, and welcome back to another edition of All That Glitters. And you'll notice today I am no longer in my wife's kitchen, which probably is much to her relief, and probably a little bit to mine as well. So today we're going to get into a completely different topic than cooking or eating or drinking wine. We are going to talk about love. Not that you can't love food or wine. Well, anyway, the point is love. Love. It's a big topic. And people have asked me, why did I subtitle my new book, Winter in the High Sierra, a love story, instead of, say, romance? Because it is kind of a romance. I subtitled it a love story for the following reason. As I was thinking about this book, I was thinking about all the different dimensions of love, and I got curious about that. And what I found in my research is that the ancient Greeks had half a dozen words for love, different kinds of love. And I've never studied ancient Greek, so by the way, I'm going to go through these, and if I mispronounce any of them, for you classicists out there, I apologize, but I hope to get at least the definitions correct, so stay with me. But the Greeks apparently had half a dozen individual words for different types of love. In English, which is a very rich language, unfortunately, we only have the one word, love. And we modify that then with adjectives typically, friendly love, platonic love. And we all know that that's a certain type of love. But the Greeks didn't bother with any of that. They had actual distinct words for love, which then ended up serving as a kind of framework, or one of the frameworks for my writing this book, because I wanted to make sure that I explored love in all of its dimensions. And I thought that the ancient Greek words did a really good job of leading me through those different types of love. So I'm going to tell you now what the different types of ancient Greek classical love there are. And the little game here is, as you read Winter in the High Sierra, see how many of them you can find. And I'll give you a clue. They're all in there, and they're all in there in multiple places. So you should be able to find them. Okay, here we go. The first and kind of the most lofty type of love of all that the Greeks imagined is something called agape. And agape is the love that God has for human beings, that we have for God. It has to do with reverence. It's a very holy sort of love, and it's entirely a spiritual sort of experience. And that would be reserved, again, for a kind of relationship with God or something very, very, very holy to you. The next type, or another type, I guess, is something called philia. And you probably recognize that as the root of a number of English words. And think of, for example, of Philadelphia, the city of brotherly love, because philia is exactly that. It is love of friends, between equals, brotherly love, and brotherly not like your actual brother or sister, but brotherly like your brothers or your sisters as your friends. So that's philia, and it's a specific type of love, and we all know how it feels to love a friend, which is very different from the next kind of love, because philia doesn't have any passion in it. It's friendship. The next kind, though, eros, which gives us our word erotic, is passionate love. It's intimacy. It's intimate love. It's sexuality. And although these are all different flavors of something, there's nothing that says that there can't be elements of holy love in eros or elements of philia in eros either, for example. But they still categorize them differently because they are very different feelings. The next type is called storge. And storge is love of or for your family members, your brothers, your sisters, your mom, your dad, and their love in turn for you. Think of it perhaps also in a broader sense as a kind of kinship love, because you can feel storge for other things that you feel associated with, or you feel close to, or you feel part of, a sports team, a country, a flag, something that you feel a relation to, a kinship to. That's storge. Then you have philautia, or philutia. I'm going to just admit that I have no idea how to say that. But anyway, you'll see the word on the screen. That is self-love. That's caring for yourself appropriately and moderately. The Greeks recognized, and the Greeks were interested in sort of the middle way, like not hot, not cold, not the extremes, but down the middle. And so when they thought of philautia or philautia, they thought of it as a moderate sort of self-love, a healthy sort of self-love, not egotism on one hand, and not thinking that you're just inherently always right. Those things can be negative, and so the Greeks saw this as a positive thing as long as it remained in check. The last type of love that I found in the research into these words is called xenia with an X, and this is the kind of love that you have for guests. It's a welcoming feeling. It's a feeling of mikasa sukasa. You're opening yourself up to guests. It's a kind of love, and it tends to be a ritualized behavior. In other words, there are certain ways you behave with guests. There's certain periods of time that guests come and stay, and things you talk about, things you don't. That shows your caring, your love for your guests, and so that is xenia. And it tends to be reciprocal. In other words, the guest is also reciprocating your welcome by being a good guest. So anyway, as you go through Winter in the High Sierra, see if you can find those different types of love. They're all in there in multiple places, as I said. But I think the takeaway here is just love is a really, really large thing to fit into a really, really small word like love. And so I would urge each and every one of us as we go through our lives, first of all, seek out love. Love is something that never runs out. You'll never run out of it. You can always make more. You can't say that about anything else, not time, not money, not anything, but you can say it about love. So as you go through life, keeping your eyes open to love, look for all these different types of love. And I think it makes it even richer as a feeling. So with that, I will close for today. Thank you for joining me. I'll be back very soon.